Hello, in this video I'm going to go over how to get fingerprints on our glass beaker. So I just imported it as its own project, and I imported a fingerprint texture I found online, threw that onto my mask layer in the fill, and set it to triplanar. And then a thing that you'll probably have to do is I don't want fingerprints on the inside, because that'd be pretty hard to put a fingerprint in there. So I'm just going to go to my mask here and right click and say add paint layer, and make sure that you're on polygon fill, and then I am on UV chunk. And if you forget how to see this, then you can just go 3D 2D like that. And I'm going to set this so that it masks out the inside. So I'm just looking on the inside, or you can try to, if you organize your UVs well. I did not, I just did a quick kind of automatic just to get it done. It's better to take your time with your UVs, but if you're running out of time, do what you need to do. Oh. So I'm just going inside of it and then checking one section down here. And I'm just checking on the outside. So this section here, I need to fix. So if you've accidentally got rid of a section, undo it and try to get it. It's a little tricky. Let me know in the comments if you know a better way other than just UVing it correctly. That usually is the answer. Okay, so now I'm going to add another layer in here, because this is too evenly, like this person evenly pressed all these fingerprints all over. So add another fill layer, and I'm going to set this to multiply, so I'll mask away whatever texture I put in this fill. And I'll set this to dirt, might be a good one. Or dirt or noise, something like that. And you'll see now it looks a little bit more natural looking. And you can play around with these settings here. Change this back to triplanar maybe. Something like that. So it kind of appears and disappears. And then you could even change the contrast of it so it's even more sparse, something like that. And I might change the scale of my original. See what 1 looks like. No, 1.5. Something like that might be good. Then yeah, I'll export this out and I'll show you how to plug it in. So I was gonna just use this, go to export out, but an easier way probably is just to right click this and go to export mask to file, and then save it in your scenes. Make sure you save it as, keep it most likely like a PNG, Targa, or TIFF, and I'll just name this beaker roughness. Keep it the same kind of naming, something like that. So now let's go back to this and my perspective camera. I'm gonna hide everything that I don't need. Oops. There we go. So go to your material here, and what we'll need to do is go to the hypershade, and I selected the beaker, so I can just right click and say graph materials to viewport selection. So whatever I'm selecting, I can see the material that's assigned to it. Then I'm going to make this, I'm going to plug this into the roughness. So, and right now the roughness is a perfectly shiny, smooth object. So right here, I'm just going to change that. Hit this, go to File, and then navigate to my beaker, open. And then there's one little tricky thing in this. Usually if you have something that's black and white, like a mask, you need to set in this file node where you've navigated to your texture, click on under color balance, click on this alpha as luminance. Always kind of gets me every time. Your renders might not work, it won't show up most likely. So let's take a look at this. You might need to, adjust it, but we'll see how it looks. Okay, so I have it in there and it looks kind of crazy. So I went into, before I rendered this, it was coming in very weak. So I went in and did a levels and pushed it up so that's very noticeable. Now that it's in here, it's too much. So you'll see that a lot when working with materials. You kind of have to go back and forth. The thing here, I'll just put this over here. What we'll want to do is we can adjust our texture by going to color balance. And I did I rendered a viewport selection here, or like just this section here, using this tool, this crop region, and I can go over here and start changing the exposure to start dialing this in. So this is where I navigated to my texture and basically dialing this in. Set this, oh, actually I'm going the wrong way, 0.3. Still too much. There, it's starting to show more. So we want this to be pretty subtle. Kind of only want to see it, so something like that, little smudges. So that might be good. Yeah. So just so it'll be very noticeable when we're having an animated camera, but on a still it's very subtle. But that's kind of what we want. Too much is not good. Okay. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video.